I believe this is still the most extraordinary country on the face of the earth. And it troubles me that people are rewarded for tearing down our country. It's never been that way in American politics before.
Jeb Bush may have awakened this morning at the weakest point of his campaign thus far in the wake of last night's CNBC debate. Several pundits, pollsters, and strategists are calling Jeb's debate performance dreadful. The usually mild-mannered former governor attacked Marco Rubio and his Senate attendance record, but that plan backfired badly. Jeb's continuing struggles highlight a deepening sense of uncertainty among establishment Republicans. And now that his campaign, according to one website, appears to be on life support, the question is, does Jeb remain the establishment pick, or does somebody else become the establishment favorite? For more, let's welcome in political analyst Dick Morris, Skyping in from Connecticut. Dick, of course, the co-author of Power Grab, Obama's dangerous plan for a one-party nation. Jeb has been the choice of the establishment party, but as he continues to have problems, will the establishment move to another candidate, and who?
I think that it's going to be very hard for Bush to recover. First of all, because what you've seen is what you're going to get. That is Jeb Bush that you saw in the debate last night and the other two nights. I don't think he can change. I, by the way, do not think it was a mistake to go after Rubio on attendance. If you're in the Senate, you got to show up, whether you're running for president or not. They're paying you to show up. But about Jeb, I think that the hardest thing to do is to regain lost ground, because you have voters who were once voting for you, got turned off, and switched to somebody else. And to get them to switch back now is a very hard thing to do, and I'm not sure he can. So the answer to your question is yes, I would expect his support to begin to migrate to other candidates. Probably the main beneficiary of that would be Rubio.
And let's talk about the future of Bush in the presidential campaign. Should he seriously consider dropping out of the race at this point?
No, he should let it go through Iowa and maybe New Hampshire and see if he can do better in an actual ballot box. I don't think people should drop out just based on polling or fundraising. Let the voters have a say before a candidate if his stature departs from the race. I do think that the future shape of the debate may narrow down to, at the moment, 4 candidates: Trump, Carson, Rubio, and Cruz. Christie could make it there, but I'm not sure that he's got enough power to do that. Kasich could do it, but I'm not sure about that. Fiorini has the same problem Bush has. She gained votes and then lost them and now has to regain them, and that's very hard. Huckabee did brilliantly last night, but we'll see if he's able to make it into the top 4. On the other hand, I think that you can expect Carson to begin to drop. I think he showed vividly last night there's no there. When he couldn't even defend his own tax cut proposal and characterized it inaccurately, saying it was based on GDP rather than personal income, a mistake every economic student would cringe at.
Well, let's move away from math and economic theory to history and likely revisionism. Dick, you've written about this. Hillary Clinton showed up on Rachel Maddow's MSNBC show and said a threat of a constitutional amendment led President Bill Clinton to sign the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA. You say that's not true. Give us your take on history as it happened a couple of decades ago.
It was absolutely not true. There was no discussion in any of the meetings with President Clinton that led to his decision to sign the Defense of Marriage Act about a constitutional amendment. It's completely made-up revisionist history. Hillary's theory is that they wanted to prohibit requiring states to follow other states that allowed gay marriage. A gay couple in Vermont that get married, move to Mississippi. Would Mississippi have to recognize the marriage? The Defense of Marriage Act said no. Hillary claims that some wanted to pass a constitutional amendment saying no, and that's why they passed the statute, which could be repealed. That is totally and completely untrue. The decisions to go with the Defense of Marriage Act were made in May and June at strategy meetings. I attended every one of them. There was never a mention of a constitutional amendment, and I never heard of the possibility of a constitutional amendment until Hillary fabricated one on the Rachel Maddow show.
You know, it's very interesting, Dick, because during those days you were advising the Clintons, and I was serving in Congress in the first House majority in over 40 years, and yet here we are together on this program, and you are offering the facts about history as opposed to Mrs. Clinton's revisionist history. As always, Dick Morris, we thank you very much. And once again, the name of the book is Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. You want to get that book? Well, here's the website you go to, powergrab411.com. And when we come back, you've heard a lot of talk already about Jeb Bush, but the former Florida governor, in his own words, on Hillary, when Newsmax Prime continues.